Hello there. Well, it's the last day of May and I'm on my way to the river, and I'm going to fish with a new Tenkara rod that I've just purchased. The weather forecast is showers, so I'm dressed appropriately. The river looks good, it's very clear. We did have a little bit of rain a day or two ago, but it's been very patchy. We either get too much rain in a shower or not enough. We're never satisfied. Now this is the first time I've used this rod on the river. I've played with it in the garden. Now I'm going to fish with it at its longest length, which is 10'6", to see what the action's like. I have tried it in the garden and it seems fine. I've got quite a short line. I'm only fishing it with a 12-foot line. That's from the fly to the tip of the rod. Now in these slow pools, it is really helpful to have to cast really lightly, because you don't want to disturb the fish. But it does seem a nice action, and so I'm quite happy with that. I think it's just as good as the other rod I've got. Now in these faster shallow runs, I must admit I do love to see that lovely green weed with the gravel in between. Everything's looking quite lush now. All the leaves are on the trees. Anyway, I do catch a little chub on the fly, which is the first fish of the day. Now I've got my glasses on that fit on my hat, because as you get older you can't see so well, especially if you're trying to put a new fly on. I do find them quite useful. There's a few of the flies I've made this winter. Now there's quite a few little rises in this pool, but it's probably little chub or dace perhaps, and maybe some small trout. Yes, we do have a small trout par, which doesn't take much to get out of the water. Yeah, pretty little fish, but I must get it back into the water as quick as possible. But I'll have a close-up here just to show you how beautiful they are. You see the par markings on the side. There's a better view. Well, after catching all these great big fish, I'm going to have a bite of lunch. Now the day is turning out to be a lot hotter than I thought it would do, and I feel a bit overdressed, and there's no sign of a shower. Well, let's have a look at some of the other things that we see on the river. Now, well, this is the time of year that we get all sorts of different flowers. But one of the water-based flowers, which I rather like, is the water crowsfoot. It's a little tiny white flower, but it can be very profuse in certain areas. These sort of weed beds on these shallows, they're getting more sunlight so that they create more weed, and a lot of life lives within this weed. Small fish, all sorts of creatures as well, fly life that hatches beneath in the gravel. Now the water crowsfoot is just really starting to come into flower. There will be a lot more of it later, but there's a nice little bed of it here just under the bank. I think it's a lovely, very simple white flower, but quite beautiful. Well, I caught another chub on the fly and had a very pleasant day's fishing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click a like and maybe subscribe. And here's a final picture of some ragged robin, one of my favourite wildflowers. It's quite common, but it's a lovely flower. Goodbye for now.